Welcome back to Momming Hard with Lauren. I want to thank y'all for showing up today and listening to what I have to say. All right. So, today we are going to talk about postpartum. So, postpartum is a word that most of us know. Okay. Um, but there's like no real definition, right? I mean, there's like a textbook definition, but there's nothing really to be like, yep, that's what I have. Or yep, that's what I'm experiencing. It's not black and white. That's the best way I can say it. It's not black and white. And it looks different for everyone. Okay? So postpartum is a feeling. It's a feeling, right? So as women, we tend to be kind of in tune with ourselves. We kind of know when we're feeling off. We kind of know when something just isn't right. And that's the best way I can describe postpartum. So for me, I have 3 babies, and my first 2 pregnancies were fine, right? Went through delivery. Both deliveries were very much different, but afterwards I felt great. Now my third baby, um, something was just off. Something was off, and I really couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, I don't feel sick. I, really, I don't feel, I don't feel like the circumstances were too much different than, my other 2 deliveries or my other 2 experiences, especially after birth. Actually, I had help, right? I had a lot of help. So I'm like, what is going on with me? Like, why do I feel like this? And for me, it was just a sense of helplessness. Like, it really didn't matter what I was doing. I didn't feel like I was doing enough. Which as a mother, that it makes you feel like crap. It makes you feel depleted. It makes you feel useless. It makes you feel just low. That's the best way I can describe what was going on. And I couldn't figure out why I was feeling that way. I look at myself as a logical person. So I'm looking at, everything. I'm like, she's hungry, I fed her. Okay. She pooped, I changed her. Okay. My 3-year-old needed me to do this, I did this. My 14-year-old needed to write, I did this. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, but I still felt inadequate, as if I was not doing something. And that is not a normal feeling. So for me, I'm also a very independent person, and I'm maybe, I guess you could call it prideful. Like, I don't know. I don't like asking for help. I just don't. I don't know. It's not a good thing. Let me clarify. That is not a good thing. But that's just how I've been. I had to throw that out the window, right? Because nothing I was trying was working. Nothing I was doing was working. So there are resources, and there is help, and there are things that you can do, but you have to open your mouth. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to be the one to be like, yeah, this is something that's not right. What can we do? So personally, at my 6-week appointment, my 6-week follow-up, I, I went in, we go over all the, okay, this, da, da, da. We go over all of that, and, they ask you, well, are you experiencing, are you having any of these thoughts? Are you da, da, da? And my thoughts weren't exactly what they were asking, but I was just like, yeah, I'm not experiencing that, but something's not right. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, something is, this is how I feel. And it was just kind of like bleh, like I just threw up all of these emotions. Like, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this. And again, there is no like, okay, if you're feeling X, Y, Z, it's this. Or if you're feeling blah, 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 definitely postpartum. But me, I had the experience of my first 2 pregnancies, and I was like, this is completely out of the box for me to feel. This is completely outside of my comfort zone. And my doctor was like, okay, well, let's get you a prescription in. We're going to go ahead and get you on this. We'll start you at this. Give it a few weeks. If you don't feel a change, let us know. Type of scenario. And me, I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn. So I got the prescription, and I'm like, maybe it's not that. Maybe I'm just, I'm just tired, or maybe I'm just, I just need to give it a little more time. But no, it was definitely postpartum, and I waited a few weeks. Actually, I suffered a tragedy shortly after that, where I was like, okay, I'm not feeling myself at all. And so I started taking the medicine, and my experience was the medicine literally made me feel sick. It made me feel so sick. Like, whenever I touched food, literally, I'm like, I feel nauseous. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And it was like that for, like a month of me just feeling sick, not being able to eat. I lost so much weight. I was so thin. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe this isn't for me. But I was breastfeeding at the time. And there are certain medications you just can't take. So as I'm like talking to people, I'm like, yeah, well, they have me on this. And I'm so sorry, I can't pull exactly which medication it was, but it was whichever one you can take while breastfeeding. And everybody kept going, oh, well, no, have them prescribe this, have them prescribe this. This helped me. And there are so many different medications. That is pivotal. There are so many different medications. Do your own research. But everything people were like, suggesting, like, I couldn't take while breastfeeding. So I'm like, oh, well, here I am. I'm breastfeeding, and I'm taking this. And I felt kind of trapped and stuck in having to take this particular medicine. So it was either take this or take nothing, right? And while I'm in it, while I'm going through it, while I'm living my day-to-day, I didn't notice a difference in my moods, in my feelings, in my in me, while I was in it, right? So a couple months go by, and I'm like, okay, I'm still not, like, I feel sick. It has to be this pill. This pill is what's making me feel sick. I'm done taking it. Okay, I'm not taking it because I'm tired of feeling sick. I'm tired of looking frail. I want to put some weight back on. I'm done taking this medicine. So I took myself off the pill. Okay. not the best idea. So those antidepressants and those like anxiety and those type of medicines, you definitely should not just cut yourself off. It's messing with your hormones, it's messing with your moods, and it can definitely just be a bad experience. So for me, I took myself off and I started, being able to eat, which that was a good thing. Um, but like I noticed, like I don't want to say instant, but like very, very shortly after, like just like a heightened emotions, right? So I started off, feeling kind of down or um, then depressed. The best way I can describe me being on the medication was I felt nothing, which looking back at it, nothing is better than sad. So when I got off of it, but again, remember when I said I was on it, I didn't notice a change. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, I feel so much better. I didn't really notice anything. But when I stopped taking the pill, it was like everything upset me, right? I'm like overly, just overly emotional. And it wasn't a depressed, it wasn't like I was sad. It wasn't that, it was everything annoyed me. Like I was just my emotions just heightened. Um, and as you're going through everyday life, like that's like kind of a crazy feeling as well. Like this usually wouldn't bother me. Why am I so mad? Like why am I feeling like this? Um, which you know, doing a little research, I'm like, oh, I probably should have stopped like that. Um, and then as some time passed, um, on like going through my healing journey and dealing with grief and things like that, it was kind of like times where I'm like, okay, I'm feeling off. I'm, and while you're grieving, you automatically feel off. But it was just kind of like there's these layers. There's these layers, and postpartum, it doesn't really go away, right? It's kind of like a lingering thing, right? So it can stretch for a while, right? And even when you're on medication, you still have to put in the work to kind of pull yourself out of it. Um, Fortunate for me, still around that whole time, I was also in therapy. So I was also able to, while going through my um, therapy for grief um, and trauma, I was able to still work in like, okay, well, this was also a level. This was also a part of my story. I was also struggling with postpartum, and that was able to get worked through as well. So, um, with postpartum, the big thing is recognizing that there is something off with yourself, and then taking the steps to work through it. Um, using your voice, using your voice, using your voice. I cannot stress that enough. Using your voice. because a lot of times doctors may try to silence you. They may try to tell you what you have going on, but you know you best. Okay? So use your voice, express what you're feeling, express what you're going through, and then get on a track to get you feeling better. All right, mamas. That's all for now. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.